Beyond the mask, how true vulnerability commands unshakable presence. Every man wears a mask. Some wear the mask of toughness. Some wear the mask of success. Some wear the mask of confidence. Others wear the mask of indifference, pretending they don't care when they care deeply. The strange thing is that most men are not even aware they are wearing one. The mask becomes so familiar that it feels like their real face. But beneath every mask lies a simple fear. The fear of being seen. Seen as imperfect. Seen as uncertain. Seen as human. And so many men spend their entire lives constructing a fortress around themselves. They believe the stronger the walls, the stronger the man. But reality teaches a different lesson. Because the strongest presence in any room rarely belongs to the man who is trying to appear powerful. It belongs to the man who no longer needs to. The hidden cost of the mask. Most men learn early that vulnerability is dangerous. As boys, many are taught directly or indirectly. Don't cry. Don't show weakness. Handle it yourself. Be a man. Over time, these lessons become internal laws. The result is not strength. The result is suppression. A man begins hiding parts of himself. His fears. His doubts. His insecurities. His disappointments. His failures. Eventually, he develops a carefully engineered image. An identity designed not to reveal who he is, but to protect him from judgment. The problem is that maintaining a mask requires constant energy. You must constantly monitor yourself. Constantly perform. Constantly calculate. Constantly seek validation. And the heavier the mask becomes, the more disconnected a man becomes from himself. Ironically, the very thing he uses to gain acceptance becomes the thing that prevents genuine connection. Because people can only connect with what is real. Not with a performance. Not with a character. Not with an illusion. Why vulnerability is often misunderstood. When people hear the word vulnerability, they often imagine weakness. They imagine oversharing, emotional instability, lack of self-control. But genuine vulnerability is none of these things. True vulnerability is simply the willingness to stand without armor. To allow reality to be reality. To stop pretending. It means being honest about what you think. Honest about what you feel. Honest about where you are in life. Honest about your mistakes. Honest about your limitations. This honesty creates something powerful. Congruence. Your inner world and your outer world become aligned. You stop wasting energy maintaining an image. And that energy transforms into presence. Presence cannot be faked. Most people confuse confidence with presence. Confidence often comes from certainty. Presence comes from acceptance. A confident man may feel strong when things go well. A present man remains grounded even when they do not. Presence emerges when a man no longer fights reality. When he no longer needs to prove himself. When he no longer seeks permission to exist. Think about the most captivating people you have ever met. Often they are not the loudest. Not the richest. Not the most dominant. Not even the most attractive. Yet they possess a magnetic quality. Why? Because they are comfortable being exactly who they are. There is no friction, no hidden agenda, no performance, no mask, and people can feel that authenticity instantly. The paradox of strength. The greatest paradox of masculine development is this. The things we hide often control us. The things we face often free us. A man who hides his fears becomes controlled by fear. A man who acknowledges his fears gains authority over them. A man who hides his weaknesses becomes obsessed with defending them. A man who accepts his weaknesses can improve them. A man who hides his emotions becomes a prisoner of them. A man who understands his emotions becomes their master. The path to strength is not through denial. It is through integration. The warrior who knows his fear is stronger than the warrior who pretends he has none. Why vulnerability creates respect. Many men fear that vulnerability will make them lose respect. Yet mature people respect authenticity far more than perfection. Consider a leader who admits a mistake. A father who acknowledges uncertainty. A businessman who accepts failure and learns from it. A friend who speaks honestly. These men are not respected despite their vulnerability. They are respected because of it. Their honesty signals courage. Anyone can hide. Anyone can pretend. Anyone can wear a mask. Few are willing to be seen. And courage is always attractive. The freedom of being fully seen. One of the deepest human desires is to be accepted. But there is a problem. If people only know the mask, they can only accept the mask. The real you remains unseen, which means no amount of approval ever feels enough. This is why many successful people remain insecure. The world applauds their image, but their true self remains hidden. Real confidence emerges when you allow yourself to be seen. Not perfectly, not completely, but honestly, because then acceptance becomes meaningful, and rejection loses much of its power. The ultimate form of masculine presence. Ancient wisdom traditions repeatedly point toward the same truth. The Stoics taught self-knowledge. The Taoists taught alignment with reality. The samurai emphasized sincerity. Across cultures and centuries, genuine strength was never defined by emotional numbness. It was defined by inner integrity. A man becomes powerful when he no longer needs to pretend, when his words match his beliefs, when his actions match his values, when his public self matches his private self. This is the foundation of unshakable presence. Not dominance, not intimidation, not status. Authenticity, because the man who accepts himself cannot be manipulated by the opinions of others, and the man who no longer hides has nothing to defend. Final thoughts. The mask promises protection, but it often becomes a prison. True vulnerability is not weakness. It is the courage to stand without unnecessary armor. It is the willingness to be real in a world full of performances. And paradoxically, when you stop trying to appear strong, you often become stronger than ever before. Because true presence does not come from projecting power. It comes from embodying truth. Beyond the mask lies the man you were always meant to become.